It would seem that in the current difficult conditions, enduring adversity and deprivation of isolation, we all need to unite and do one thing, to save sports and figure skating. But the unification is definitely not about figure skating. And even a few days after the tragic death of the president of the federation, Alexander Gorshkov, there is no truce. On the contrary, as it turned out, Channel 1 quarreled with the headquarters of Svetlana Sokolovskaya and Alexandra Trusova. In any case, there is too much evidence for this. Everything became known after the words of commentators Alexander Grishin and Olympic champion Maxim Trenkov about Alexandra Trusova were leaked to the air of Channel 1. Grishin began, "The policy of the party is that, but you can't hear what it really is." Apparently, in ignoring Trusova. Trenkov replies, "Trusova is everything for Channel 1." In addition to this, Channel 1 did not show a single moment of Trusova's performance in the highlights of the short program. Did not do a traditional interview with the winner, Sofia Samadokina became it. Did not show the coach Trusova and Samadokina Svetlana Sokolovskaya. Agree, the event is not trivial. Why should the main partner of the federation refuse the most media-based Russian figure skater with 1 million subscribers on a banned social network? And Trusova entered the mixed zone without a Channel 1 patch. Chevron was torn off. During the interview, "We did not pay attention to this, you never know, we did not have time to sew it on, we just got lost." But in general, skaters are always required to wear jackets and a kiss and cry to show the emblems of all sponsors. In addition, on the sidelines, it was possible to hear from the employees of Channel 1 that an information block had been placed on Trusova's person. The head of the sports directorate of Channel 1, Olga Chernovatova, did not answer calls and messages. It is too early to speculate about the reasons, you need to ask the heroes of history. It is also interesting how other members of the Sokolovskaya group will be shown, in particular, Mark Kondratyuk. However, it is known that for the demonstration of sponsors' patches, the skaters received a fee, not very large, but still received. Yes, and with many skaters, for example, with Anna Shkrbekova, it is almost impossible to make a video interview. Sources explained this by a special relationship with the first. Obviously, now the relationship between Channel 1 and Russian Rocket is frozen. It is very likely that due to some financial, contractual obligations, perhaps the TV people did not like some of Trusova's activities. In the end, under Yevgeny Plushenko, she went to another TV channel and participated in the filming of the film. But before leaving Atari Tutberidze, everything was fine. Maybe that had an effect too. Alas, officially no one, most likely, will say anything about it. The penultimate stage of the Russian Grand Prix started in Samara. Alexandra Trusova entered her second tournament this season after not having a very successful competition in Sochi. There, Russian Rocket became only third, having skated with errors in both programs. Now the Olympic silver medalist has come to the city on the banks of the Volga to prove it was an accident. In training, Sasha did a quadruple Lutz, but there was no triple axel in the programs. In Sochi, Trusova was unable to jump the combination triple flip plus triple toe loop. In Samara, it turned out well, but an unusual mistake on the axle came out. Not only was there not a triple, not even a double. As a result, the skater was left without an element and did not score even 70 points. At the previous stage, there were still more. Someone even noticed that Trusova was surprised by the ratings. I wonder in which direction, expected scores higher or lower? In the 3 weeks between the stages, Sasha managed to do a lot, gain 1 million subscribers on social networks, perform at the Yevgeny Plushenko show and fly under the roof of the ice arena with Mark Kondratyuk. Alexander Thelin criticized Trusova because of her excess weight. The skater answered him in the mixed zone in Samara, saying that his words were not of much interest to her. Potentially, Trusova's only rival in Samara was classmate Sofia Samadokina. The schedule for Sofia Muraviova, who was announced for the 5th stage, moved due to injury, Plushenko's student was in Moscow, and now she will go to Perm. Samadokina did not change anything in the schedule. Yes, and in the declared content too, I was still going to jump the most difficult set in the short one. The triple axel failed again, but the cascade was successful. This time, Sofa decided not to try to perform a triple Lutz plus triple loop, limited herself to a more stable one, Lutz plus toe loop. And it was right, if the Zagitova cascade failed, Samadokina would not have been in the top 3 after the short program. And so, at least a small, but there is an advantage over rivals, in the region of 3 points. In a good way, Trusova should have lost not only to Samadokina, but also to 2 other skaters. You can, of course, say that this is Sasha, and who the rest is not so clear. But Anna Frolova was ahead of the 2-time world champion in the case, except for the levels on the spins and the track, everything else was done well. The athlete did not compete in tournaments for almost a year, but was able to return to the ice. And even in a slightly different image for himself, not in a lyrical way, as was often the case, but in a more dynamic oriental one. If not for the mistake on the triple Lutz, then Ksenia Gushina would have been higher than Sasha. With a not very successful performance of the short program in Kazan, Kirill Davydenko's student performed perfectly in the free program and ended up in 4th place. Now this ill-fated Lutz was not enough. It is clear that the skater is well trained, she has excellent jumps and spins. And in terms of components, she should be ahead of Trusova. In terms of sliding and interpreting Gushina's music, there is something to praise herself for. As a result, 4 athletes are next to each other after the short program. Everything will be decided in an arbitrary. Sasha continues to get in shape, she is already better than she was in Sochi, although far from ideal. In the mixed zone, Trusova is not killed, but, on the contrary, says that she skated well. Her mood, of course, pleases. It's definitely not worth getting too upset because of such a rental. But we hope that the skater is alright and motivated. The audience definitely wants to continue watching their favorite athlete on the ice. After a short program of girls in the arena, a minute of silence was announced in memory of Alexander Gorshkov, the president of the Russian Figure Skating Federation and the great Soviet athlete, who died on Thursday. He was supposed to be present at the competitions in Samara. Many athletes entered the mixed zone with a black ribbon on their jackets, for example, the same Alexandra Trusova. And the dancer Elizaveta Shoneva could not even hold back her tears when asked about Gorshkov. Alexander Georgievich was loved by the athletes of the national team.